brief overview of what a callback is. Here, just really briefly, here's our HTML file. We have a body tag here, and then we have our H2, which says JavaScript callbacks, which we see here. And then we have our script tag here, which has our functions, which are demonstrating the callback. Now, to understand a callback, I believe the first step that we need to understand is what can go inside of the parameter field of a function. You may be used to it being a Boolean, number, array, object, string, but there is also functions. A parameter could be a function. That might be confusing at first, so let's break it down to how do we know if a parameter is a callback, or how do we know, rather another way to say that is, how do we know if a parameter is a function? Isn't that just a placeholder? It is. So name is a placeholder, right? Now, because name is being concatenated with this this hello string, I generally wouldn't think of it as a function. And then secondly, it's not being invoked here. And we know that functions would be invoked. Now, if we look at this other function here, we have process user input, and we have a parameter called callback, just a placeholder. And it looks like later on our line here, we invoke that parameter. Now, I know based off of it being invoked that callback needs to be a function. Otherwise, this won't work. If this is a string, we'll break our code. So if we go ahead and read through this really quick, so we have our function, we declare it as greeting. It has a parameter called name, and we're going to make an alert that says hello and concatenate whatever name is. So if we test this really quick, and if I can comment this out, I believe. There's no comment, so that's all right. But if we go ahead and test this really quick, and I say greeting, and then I invoke greeting. Now, if I pass in a string and say Bob here, and Bob is now name, right? This parameter, when I run this function, Bob is going to take the place of name. Name's just the placeholder, and then Bob will also take the place here. So we will get the alert, hello Bob. And then we have it, hello Bob. All right, and then this is going to demonstrate the callback here, which we're going to do now. Now we have the function process user input. This is a great name because it's telling us exactly what we want to do here. Now here we're not really demonstrating user input, which we can demonstrate in a moment here. But this is a great name because it's describing what should be happening here. We're gonna have a parameter that we're just gonna call callback. We're gonna declare name is equal to the string Michael Taggart, and then we're gonna have callback invoked. We know callback needs to be a function, so process user input, the function, needs to be in our parameter. We need to put in another function into the parameter, right, when we invoke it. So saying something like this, we have a function called greeting. We pass it into process user input. So whatever greeting has in its parameter will be equal to whatever we have here, right? So we have name being passed into our callback. So greeting is now the callback, and it's being passed name, which is here. And so it's going to be passed Michael Taggart. So we'll see greeting, Michael Taggart, hello string plus Michael Taggart. And so we will just see that here in our alert. Now, a quick demonstration of using prompt. This just allows the user, this is more original. This is going to ask for you to enter something in. It's going to store it in name, right? So that's this line here. And then we're going to continue on, right? Name will be equal to whatever was entered in, and then we'll just pass that data to greeting here, and then concatenate it here. So we could do whatever we want. So that's just taking an input with prompt. All right. That is just a brief overview of callbacks.